Welcome to KDP, Two Birds with One Stone, getting your book onto Amazon KDP as both an ebook and printed book. If you're new to Amazon KDP, that stands for Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. It's Amazon's publishing platform where anyone like us can upload a manuscript to Amazon and publish it very quickly. How quickly? Well, in some cases, within about an hour. Here's a book that I recently uploaded called Izzy and the Secrets of the South Pole. And within an hour, it was live on Amazon as an ebook. And within about 7 hours, it was live on Amazon as a paperback book. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually give you some bonus training, actually showing you how we can create an ebook with AI very quickly, and then how to actually format that for Amazon KDP, and to do it in such a way that we can try to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. In other words, we're going to prepare it to be both an ebook and a paperback book all at one time. Because what I've noticed is that there are some differences in the way that some people may want to prepare their books, both for ebook publishing and paperback publishing. And for example, if you're publishing a children's book, full color children's book with pictures all the way to the edges, it may be very difficult to prepare it as both an ebook and a paperback at the exact same time. But if you're publishing any sort of a traditional book, like a chapter book, a novel, or anything like that, or a nonfiction informational book, I believe we can actually pull it off where we can format it one time and have that file be ready for both the ebook and the paperback upload. That's our goal today. We're going to see if we can do it. We're going to see if we can kill two birds with one stone and get our book uploaded in two different formats at virtually the same time today. Amazon does have some tools to make it easy for us. They actually have some paperback and hardcover manuscript templates. We're going to create a paperback book today. And so if you can find this page, you can search for this, paperback and hardcover manuscript templates. All right, just search for that. You can search for it either on Google or search for it on Amazon itself, and you should be able to pull that up. And you'll be able to choose a template. Now they have a couple of options here. You can download blank templates, or you can download templates with sample content. I actually recommend downloading the template with sample content. I checked both of them out, and I found the one with sample content to be more helpful. It really gave me a better idea of what to put where. In other words, the blank template was basically just one page with one sentence at the top of it, whereas the template with sample content actually had the title page, the copyright page, and a couple of sample chapters so that I knew how to format the chapters, the chapter headings, and then the page content itself. So that was much more helpful. So again, I'd recommend going with the templates with sample content. Go ahead and download that. And it's actually going to download a whole package of templates for you in all their different trim sizes. So in other words, many different sizes of books that they can print. The size that we're going to create today is going to be a standard 6-inch by 9-inch paperback. You can see they actually say that that is the most common trim size for paperbacks. So we're going to go with a 6-inch by 9-inch. And by creating a 6-inch by 9-inch paperback manuscript, we can use that same file when we go to upload it as an ebook. That's how we're going to kill two birds with one stone. So go ahead and download this, templates with sample content, and you're going to find the 6-inch by 9-inch template, and that's the one that we are going to use. You'll also find some tips on ebook manuscript formatting, and you'll find that here if you, again, search Amazon for ebook manuscript formatting guide. This guide will show you how to prepare your manuscript for KDP publishing. What I have found is that there actually is quite a bit of flexibility in this. In other words, if you upload your ebook and it doesn't quite match all of these specifications, it'll still work. As long as their computer system can read your text, it'll turn it into an ebook. But this is best practices. And so, some of the things that we want to look at is essentially single spacing, right? We don't want it to be 1.5 spaces. We don't want it to be double spacing. We want to set it to single spacing. And other than that, just pretty typical stuff. If you're using Microsoft Word, you would apply the setting of heading 1 to chapter titles. And again, you can go through, and if you really want to get nitty-gritty about this, you can read all these specifications. But I found that if you just kind of do the basic stuff, set it to about a size 12 font, single spacing, it should be good to go. And in this demonstration today, I'm actually going to use Google Docs rather than Microsoft Word because not everybody has Microsoft Word. I actually prefer Microsoft Word because it's has a little bit more capability, in my opinion, than Google Docs. But Google Docs is free. Everybody has access to it. And it can be used to create our manuscripts for Amazon KDP. But if you're using Microsoft Word, you would essentially do the exact same thing that you're going to see me doing in this demonstration, but instead of using Google Docs, you would just be using Microsoft Word. And in fact, Microsoft Word is probably a little easier and more intuitive in some ways, in my opinion. But Google Docs is not bad. It's fairly intuitive as well. And as you'll see, it's going to be pretty easy when we use this template today. So, again, I downloaded a zip file here, templates with sample content. So I've got that in my downloads folder. And what I'm going to do is upload that to Google Docs. So you go to docs.google.com. Most likely you've got a Google account. If not, you sign up for one for free. Log into your Google account, and from there, Google Docs is free to use. So docs.google.com, and we're going to click blank to start a new document. Now, by default, you would actually need a special plugin if you wanted to create a 6-inch by 9-inch page. Because if we go to File and we go to Page Setup, it's going to give us several paper sizes to choose from, and 6 by 9 is not one of them. It's just not even an option. That's where Microsoft Word is superior because you can set any page size in Microsoft Word. However, Google does have a free extension available, so you can go to their extension library, search for one called Page Sizer, and after you install Page Sizer, you can go to Extensions, Page Sizer, and set your page size. Now from there, you can set any custom page size, including, of course, 6-inch by 9-inch. However, we're going to use the template that we downloaded from Amazon already. And that template, of course, is already set to 6 inches by 9 inches. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Open. And then I'm going to click Upload. And then I'm going to drag and drop that 6 by 9 template that I downloaded from Amazon for free. So drag and drop that onto the upload, and here it is. Close that untitled document. Here's our 6-inch by 9-inch template. And you can see it's formatted with the book title, the author name, you've got a copyright page, a dedication page. Now, of course, you don't have to use all these pages. We can delete the ones that we don't need. A table of contents, acknowledgments, and then it starts the chapters. And it also has page numbers already inserted. So this is very convenient for simply pasting your content in and knowing that it's going to be formatted correctly as a printed book. And as we'll see, this will also work as an ebook. So what we need now is a book. We're going to use a tool called GPT-. You're probably familiar with AI. You're probably familiar with ChatGPT. GPT- is a tool that harnesses the power of ChatGPT to create content more easily. Instead of having to figure out prompts and how to put everything together, you can basically fill in some blanks, click some buttons, and create content all the way up to and including a book. So this is the GPT- Pro version. If you want to get this, you have to first acquire GPT- for a very small fee for the for the basic version. And from there, they'll offer you an upgrade to get the Pro version, which also is very affordable. And then you'll have access to all these different tools. They also have a children's book tool called the AI Children's Book Maker. And so if you wanted to make a children's book, you would use that one. Today we'll just create a standard nonfiction book. So I'm going to click the Write Book tool. Now, of course, if you're watching this video today, maybe you already have a book and you just, all you need to do is get it onto Amazon KDP. You're not needing to learn how to create a book with AI. If that's the case, you can fast forward this video. You can skip ahead if you want to. But it's also kind of interesting to see how quickly we can actually get this done, you know, from scratch to have a book on Amazon, right? I'm about 10 minutes into this tutorial video right now. Let's see how long it takes us from here to actually get our book done and get it on Amazon. So I'm going to go, I actually don't have a clue what I'm going to write about today. I have to think about it. What do I want to write about? Suggest a niche. It's a tough call. Let's just say how to help people, because that's so broad, and I'm drawing blanks here. I'm drawing blanks, and you know, as you may be familiar with that. You may have experienced writer's block before yourself. Maybe you've sat down to write something and just didn't know what to write about. And so I'm going to start real broad and just see what it gives us. So here are some possible evergreen niches. Personal development, so people looking to improve themselves or their lives. Health and wellness, people who want to live healthier and happier lives. Relationships, that's good. Self-help, that's good. Business and finance, that's good. Fitness, yes. Travel, yes. Education, yes. Food and cooking. Spirituality. Sub-niches, personal development, health and wellness, relationships, business and finance, fitness. These are all great niches. Yoga for beginners. How to build a successful business online. Building strong relationships with your children. I like that. I'm a parent. I have several children. Mindful eating for busy moms. Goal setting for college students. Now, if I didn't like any of these, I could run this tool again, come up with more ideas, or I could take one of these and then perhaps refine it. I kind of like this one, building strong relationships with your children. So what if I were to, I'm going to copy that and go back and run this again. So I'm going to say, what would you like to write about? I'm going to go back to the, let's see, suggest a niche. What would you like to write about? Building strong relationships with your children. And I'm going to click generate. And now we'll see if it gives us some more specific ideas about building relationships with your children. And again, you can obviously skip this step if you already know what you are writing about, or if you already have your ebook or your book and you just need to learn how to publish it on Amazon. We'll let the AI do its thing and come up with something good for us. And here we go. Parenting, family relationships, child development, early childhood education, teenagers, single parenting, divorce and blended families, foster and adoptive parenting. This is a really interesting one to me. We are actually working through this process right now in our family. So that's one that's definitely very interesting to me right now. Multicultural families, grandparenting, very good stuff. Some sub niches. We've got building strong relationships with your teenager. This one I think that's a good niche. That's a very important niche because so many parents have a hard time with that. I have several teenagers. I've had a couple that are now beyond the teenage age. Some that are still younger than the teenage age, and some that are still teenagers, but always tricky as a parent. Okay, resilient parent, children, co-parenting, multicultural parenting. All right, let's go with this. Building strong relationships with your teenager. That's a great niche. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this to my clipboard. I can also download this with one click. I can download the text file for safekeeping in case I want to refer back to it or pick one of these other ones. Then I'm going to go ahead and continue on to the next step. So the next step is, so the niche is building a strong relationship with your teenager. And the audience is parents, educators, and mentors of teenagers. And let's see if it refines this even more for us. And it kind of come up with like a specific book title and what that book's going to be all about. Pretty amazing, huh? I mean, I started this video, clicked record, and had no idea what to write about. And here, this AI tool is helping me come up with an idea. And as you'll see, it's going to write the book too. Navigating the teenage years, practical strategies for building strong relationships, building bridges, strengthening relationships with your teenager, parenting your teenager with confidence, tips and strategies for effective communication, the teenage mind, understanding, connecting with your teen. I like that. I think there's a lot of focus these days on modern psychology, and I think this could be attractive from a marketing standpoint. Empowering teens, I like that. That's important too. Boy, that's a really tough one. I do like that this one has some topics such as brain development, emotional regulation, and effective communication. So I think I'm going to go with this one, the teenage mind. I just find that very interesting. I'm going to copy that. I'm also going to download this text file for safekeeping, and I'm going to continue to the next step. So my title is The Teenage Mind, Understanding and Connecting with Your Teen. And then my description is going to be this part right here. So I'm not having to write anything. So as of yet, I have not written anything, not a lick. So I'm just copying and pasting what this tool is giving me. I'm going to go ahead and generate this. It's going to suggest some chapters for me. And as you'll see, we'll see how many chapters it comes up with. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere in the range of 7 to 10, but I can always add some chapter ideas to this myself if I feel like it didn't come up with enough chapters. How many did it come up with? 8 chapters? That's not bad. That'll work for this. Introduction to the Teenage Mind. Brain development in adolescence, emotional regulation in teens, effective communication with teens, resilience, supporting teen mental health. That's good. Navigating tech. Oh, that's great. Technology and social media is so important. Conclusion and next steps. Very good. Okay, so that's a great outline. If I wanted to, I could expand this further. We have additional. There are additional tools within here as well that we could use, but I'm just going to go with this for now. Obviously, the main reason you're here is to learn how to get this onto Amazon. So I'm going to download this text file with one click. And I'm going to open that text file as well. So here's this text file. And then I'm going to click to continue to the next step. I'm going to write a disclaimer that's going to go inside my book. That's as simple as clicking one button. And then waiting for it to do its thing. Okay, there we go. Download that with one click. Continue to the next step. And we're going to start writing our chapters. So what I'm going to do is simply copy and paste. Again, I'm not having to do any writing here. All I'm having to do is copy and paste. So chapter 1 is Introduction to the Teenage Mind. And the description is going to be that exact description that I'm copying and pasting. Click the green button. And ideally what this is going to do now is write my first chapter. And of course, if you were to use a tool like this and you didn't like what it wrote for you, you could always modify it. There is also a rewriter tool within this GPT- tool. So we could actually go and rewrite sections that we wanted to rewrite, or if we wanted to make some improvements, we could certainly do that. But based on my experience with this tool, it tends to create good content, and I'm expecting that this is going to write a good chapter for us. Okay, so here it is, chapter 1, looks good. I'm going to go ahead and download that file, and I'm going to click here to create the next one. So chapter 2, brain development in adolescence. Copy and paste that. I just was adding some periods to the end of those sentences. The way that the AI had generated it for me was like bullet points. So then when I'm pasting it in here, it seemed like the bullet points or the bullets disappear. So I'm just adding those periods to make sure that the AI knows that these are like separate thoughts. I'm not sure it even matters because, again, AI is AI. It's very smart. It would probably be able to decipher the fact that there's a line break in between each of these is probably enough. So those periods are probably not necessary. Okay, looks good. I see it even talking about hormones in here, and that's good stuff. And the prefrontal cortex, good stuff. So let's download that and click to move on to Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is emotional regulation in teens. So important. I mean, emotional regulation for every age, including ourselves. Super important. Great topic to write about. And here we go. And, you know, it takes a little bit of patience to wait for the AI sometimes to write your content, but imagine how long this would be taking to write from scratch, to go do this research, or to outsource it for that matter. You know, we could be spending, $1,000 or more easily on outsourcing the writing of this book. And believe me, I know, because I have outsourced many books in the past. This kind of book takes some serious research. You want it to be correct and accurate, good scientific information. All right, so we're going to download this Chapter 3 and move on to Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is effective communication with teens. So we'll go ahead and generate Chapter 4. Boy, effective communication with teens is, again, such an important topic. And it can be really difficult. That's just something that doesn't come naturally for a lot of parents or adults, which is, maybe a little ironic because, of course, we all were teenagers at some point in our lives. But it's like when you grow past that age and then try to communicate with someone who's still in that stage, there can sometimes be a bit of a barrier there. So we're going to download this one. And I like this has like these numbers, so it's got like 7 effective communication strategies, and then it's got 5 communication barriers listed as well. Okay, so then we're going to move on to, let's see, that was Chapter 4. Now we move on to Chapter 5. Building resilience in teens. There we go. Period. Press generate. Again, resilience, super important. So I happen to have an adult son now. He's gotten married. He's out of the house, and they have already bought their own first house, doing well, succeeding, and that is a testament to resiliency. A teenager who can get married. He got married at the age of 20, I think it was, 20 or 21, and is just doing great. All right, come on, AI, here we go. Chapter 5, done. Let's download the text file. And this is cool how it's got these numbered approaches once again, as well as some numbered challenges. I like the formatting of that. Let's move on to Chapter 6. Supporting teen mental health. And I don't think I even need to pitch anyone on how vital this is in today's society. Hopefully the AI understands the importance of this and gives us a good chapter, because just so important. It's a crisis, really. And it's starting even before they become teens. There's a crisis of mental health among children as well. I think during the pandemic of 2020, a lot of that cropped up, and we began seeing a lot of mental health issues as children were forced into isolation and masks, and a lot of their developmental process was interrupted. Okay, let's download that one. Looks like they've given us a good overview of several disorders, as well as supporting them in mental health concerns, and move on to the next chapter, which is navigating. Oh, looks like I need to log in again. And that's okay. Even though, for whatever reason, I got booted out. And it may have something to do with the fact that I'm recording this video while I'm online and all this stuff. Who knows? I can actually jump back into my chapter writing, and nothing's lost. I can jump right back into creating chapter 7. We're saving everything as we go to our computer, so there's no problem there. Chapter 7 is navigating technology and social media. Again, I don't think I need to convince anybody that that's an important thing. Certainly the Surgeon General of the United States has been harping on that issue now for the last couple of years, saying that social media has been harming our youth and teens. So it's definitely something that parents need to take the lead in helping their children with and their teens. And hopefully it's going to give us some good advice here. Yeah, it looks good. I see some good, these five points look really good. Let's download that and move on to our final chapter, chapter 8, the conclusion and the next steps. Always good to tie things together in that way. And hopefully it does give us some good additional resources for parents, educators, and mentors. We'll see. If not, that would be something we could always add. It'd be very easy for me to either grab some on my own or use an AI tool to come up with some additional resources that I could paste in there quite easily. You can also see how I could easily expand this book. I could use an AI tool like this one or just ChatGPT itself to come up with some lists of resources and things like that. It does look like it gave me some good resources, things like the National Institute for Mental Health and even like Common Sense Media. That's one that my wife and I have used as well, so that's some good stuff. So let's go ahead and download that and continue on to the next step. That's our last chapter, so now we're going to go to the next step. We're going to combine those files into one text file. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose each of those. So starting with my disclaimer, and then I'm going to choose, let's see, table of contents. I'm just going to insert the table of contents manually. So I'm going to start with chapter 1. And then we're going to go chapter 2, and then chapter 3, and then chapter 4, and then chapter 5, and then chapter 6, and then chapter 7, and lastly, chapter 8. And we're going to call this, I'll just call it my ebook for now, combine and download. So what I'm left with now is a text file that has the entire thing in it, and it's time to start putting all of that into that template. Remember that 6-inch by 9-inch template that we came up with over here? It's time to start pasting into it. All right, so let's see, what was the title that we came up with? I know I saved that somewhere. Let me go grab that title. And so that's the nice thing, if you click that one button to download everything as you go, it'll save all of that for you. So here we go. The Teenage Mind, Understanding and Connecting with Your Teen. That's the title. So copy that, paste it in there. The author name, let's see, should I use my real name or a pen name right here? I'll just use a pen name, similar to my real name. Okay, Eric Jeffries. And copyright is going to be, we'll just use the year. If you're watching this in a future year, well, congrats. And the ISBN number, we actually can get that. We can actually get that for free from Amazon. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it blank for the moment. So I'm actually just going to delete that, but we can get a free ISBN from Amazon. The dedication, I'm just going to skip the dedication. I don't need a dedication. And then the table of contents. And so that's going to come from my chapter suggestion page that we downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and copy those chapter names in there. And I don't have an acknowledgement, so I can delete that part. Chapter 1, Introduction to the Teenage Mind. Chapter 2, Brain Development and Adolescence. Chapter 3, Emotional Regulation in Teens. And so you can see all I'm doing here is just simply copying and pasting. So whether you created your book from an AI tool like I did, or if you've already got a book written, you can just copy and paste it into this manuscript template that we grabbed from Amazon. Chapter 6, Supporting Teen Mental Health. Chapter 7, Navigating Technology and Social Media. Chapter 8, Conclusion and Next Steps. And then we'll have to go back in here and insert the page numbers. And that's it. So we don't have a chapter 9, so let's delete that. All right, we can delete that. Chapter 10 we can delete. Delete, delete, delete. Okay. Good to go. Acknowledgements. No, we don't really need any acknowledgements either. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Delete. So kind of get rid of this blank page. Okay. Now we can leave one blank page after the table of contents for the sake of our printed book. Now for the ebook, we wouldn't necessarily need the blank page on our ebook, but it's not going to hurt to have it. But I think we want it on the printed version, so we'll leave it on the printed version. So chapter name, again, I'm going to copy and paste here, and I can copy and paste everything from that. You know what? The legal disclaimer. I was going to paste in the legal disclaimer, so we can actually go back and add back in a legal disclaimer. And I could actually stick that on the copyright page since there's room here for it. So below the copyright, I'll add this legal disclaimer, and I'll format that left paragraph rather than centered. There we go. Looks good. And yep, that looks good. So chapter 1. So again, I'm just going to copy and paste directly out of this text file that we downloaded. So again, not having to write anything from scratch, just copy and paste. Chapter 1, Introduction to the Teenage Mind. And then I copy the text from that chapter with a Control-C. And you can see it says insert chapter 1 text here, insert chapter 1 text here, insert chapter 1 text here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We'll click Control-V to paste that text. And so kind of just scrolling back through to make sure that it looks okay. I think it does. I think it was formatted well. So they've got the indents already set because, again, we grabbed this template right from Amazon. So it's good to go. Chapter 2, Brain Development and Adolescence. And I'm going to, again, do a Control-C to copy this. And then we're going to do a Control-V to paste it. Chapter 3, Emotional Regulation in Teens. And then once again, Control-C to copy. Oh, just trying to select just chapter 3 without going into chapter 4. There we go. Control-C to copy. Control V to paste. Looks good. Chapter 4, Effective Communication with Teens. All right, going to grab this text. It's going to be a Control C to copy. And going to be, oh, there we go, Control V to paste. Simple, right? Just copying and pasting. Chapter 5 is Building Resilience in Teens. Amazing, when I pressed record on this video, I had no idea what I was going to even write about, or publish a book about, I should say. I didn't really write this. And here we are. I'm about to become a published author in the field of relationships with parents and teens. And I'll tell you what, I am qualified for that title. Okay, Chapter 6, Supporting Teen Mental Health. Paste that in. And I'm going to grab this chapter with a Control C. Now, if you're using a Mac, it wouldn't be Control C. It would be, what is it? What's the name of it? Not Control. I should know this. Well, if you use a Mac, you already know what it is. If you're on a Windows PC, it's Control C, Control V. It's like Apple C or whatever it is. Command C. That's what it is, Command. Okay, Chapter 7. Navigating Technology and Social Media. And let's see. Oh, started going into Chapter 8 on that. There we go. Chapter 7. Okay. Looks good. And Chapter 8 is my conclusion and next steps. Copy that, Control C, and Control V. Okay, now the rest of it I can go ahead and delete. I don't have a Chapter 9 or 10. Okay. Now, I guess this font looks okay for a printed book. To me, just looking at this, it looks a little small, but I mean, we followed this is the actual template that they gave us for printed books. So I'm assuming that this is kind of what they recommend as far as font size. Going back to their template page, I don't see anything that really says what size you should make it. So I'm just going to stick with their template for now. But obviously, we're actually going to save this as a PDF. And so you could change the font if you want. This essentially will get printed exactly as you see it on your screen. So if you wanted this, for example, to take up more pages, I could bump this up to, 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 paragraph line spacing. I could make the font a little bigger. This is a Garamond size 11. I usually go with like a 12 or 14 at least. But I'm just going to stick with their template for now. And when it comes to ebooks, it really is not important what size the font is that you upload, as long as the font is readable by Amazon, because they're going to convert that into text for e-readers anyway. Okay? So once you've got all your content in there, you can go ahead and save this manuscript. This is a completed manuscript. I'm going to go ahead and go to File, and I'm going to Download. And first I'm going to download the Microsoft Word document. That's the one that we're going to upload as our ebook. Then I'm going to go to File, Download, and I'm going to download it as a PDF document. And that's the one that we're going to download as our printed book manuscript. Now we're going to jump back over to Amazon Kindle. And if you don't have an account, you sign up at kdp.amazon.com. And then when you get into your dashboard, there's something called a bookshelf. And from there, you can click the button, the big yellow button that says Create. And you can choose either ebook or paperback. So let's go ahead and start with the ebook. So create ebook. And select your language. And then select your book title, which, oh goodness, I should have it memorized by now. There it is. The Teenage Mind, Understanding and Connecting with Your Teen. I don't have a subtitle. Oh, I could call this a title and subtitle for that matter. I could call the book title The Teenage Mind, and then the subtitle could be this, but I'm going to just call that whole thing the title. I think that'll look better overall in Amazon and work better for search. If you have a series, you can add the series details, the edition number, the author, put your name there. If there's any contributors, you can add them there. And then you can write a description of your book. Now, I could kind of take this description that was given to me already, but what might be better would be to actually create a new description. I believe this tool actually has something that'll work for me. If I go back to my dashboard, I can write a product description. And it's going to be a digital product. And the product title is, that's the title. I've got the title. And the product type is a book. And I'm just going to click the green button to generate a description. The other thing I could glean that from would be just from the chapter titles. A lot of different ways I could come up with that description. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this. Now, I could always go in and edit this later, but I just need something for now. So copy that, paste that in there. I do own the copyright. It does not contain adult-only content. The reading age, I'm just going to say anywhere from starting at about, it's really for parents, so I'm going to start at 13. I'll just go from 13 to 18 plus. It's really not made for kids themselves to read. Amazon.com, and then you're going to choose up to 3 categories. And so obviously this is going to depend on your niche, whatever niche it is that you chose. And so parenting relationships is probably where I'm going to put at least a couple of these. So parenting, subcategory, let's say teenagers. That's perfect. And then we're going to add another category. Let's do another one in parenting and relationships. Subcategory is going to be maybe family relationships this time. And could do parent and adult child. Let's go with, could either go general or we could go motherhood or fatherhood. I feel like fatherhood might be an underrepresented niche, so I'm just going to select that, hopefully for marketing purposes. And then another one we could go with, let's say, could maybe go under education. Could maybe go under nonfiction. Could definitely go under nonfiction. Maybe reference. There's a few that we could put there. There's definitely a few that we could put. What happens if we say nonfiction? What are our options for category? So there is self-help. So let's go with self-help. Oh no, parenting relationships. There it is. Parenting, nonfiction, parenting relationships, parenting, and I guess that takes us to the same place. So maybe instead of teenagers, maybe we select a different category. Maybe health and nutrition this time. Maybe just health because it involves mental health. That just helps us cast our net a little wider. So let's save those 3 categories. And then you can select up to 7 keywords. We could also use an AI tool for generating some keywords if we wanted to. For example, I could go over to, we could use our search engine optimizer tool and suggest keywords. And the product again, is going to be the teenage mind. And the audience is going to be parents, educators, and mentors. So to grab a few keywords. And it's going to probably give us way more keywords than we need. I just need 7, and it's given us 25. So we'll grab 7 of these. So teenage behavior, adolescent development, parenting tips, teen mental health, let's see, adolescent psychology, parent-child relationship, and social media influence. And really any of these would be good, but we can only pick 7. And we'll go ahead and release the book now. We'll click save. And if we want to, we can add digital rights management. That's up to you. I'm going to upload the ebook manuscript, and I'm going to select the PDF, right? So the PDF that we just generated. Oh, sorry. No, not the PDF for this one. We're going to upload the Word document for this one. It's going to be the PDF for the printed book. So here's the Word doc, which is now uploading. All right, so that's uploaded successfully. It's processing now. The next thing we can do is create a cover. A couple different ways you can create a cover, but they actually have a cover creator. And so, especially for those of you that may not be graphically inclined, their cover creator might be an easy tool to use. So let's go ahead and launch their cover creator. And you can select from the image gallery or from your own computer, or you can skip the step. But in this case, I might just go ahead and use their image gallery for the moment. And so I want something that's got people in it, right? I want, so either people or relationships. So, oh, there's one of teenagers. There's also one of family. Let's look at teenagers. This one looks good. It's got a teenager, and then it's got like a parent in the background, I think. Could be a few interesting options here. And of course, there are myriad stock photo sites, and of course, you can do AI image generation. So many options for getting your images, but I'm just kind of going for the lowest hanging fruit here and just creating this as easily and as simply as possible, because you can kind of take the same approach. And, this is going to be like a vertical picture. So even like a picture of a teenager like this, just like a teenage girl standing there, actually would probably work. It might be effective. Or these teenagers here that are kind of like some friends trying on clothes or whatever, something like that would work. Or these friends that are like taking a selfie. I think that would probably connect with a lot of people as well. So definitely some options there. We can also look at the family category, because I did see there was a family category. I do like this picture. It's square, so it may not fit perfectly, but let's just see what happens if I were to pick that. I just kind of like that she's kind of like rolling her eyes. It is Asian, which I'm not necessarily targeting the Asian market. She's got chopsticks in her hand, but it's still probably okay. I think it's good. Let's just try it and see how it goes. I'm going to click use this image and see how it goes. Okay, and then kind of pick whichever one of these looks like it sort of fits the best. And so I kind of like this one here. I don't like these ones that have the words like over the whole thing, like covering up the image. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I do like this one here. I like this one down here as well. I kind of like how I think I lean towards this one, how it's got the big title in the picture down here. I like that. That looks good. And so there are a few options here. I think we can center this. Yep. We can change the size rather than auto fit if we wanted to make it a little smaller, maybe. I think that size was probably okay. Or we could just say autofit. We could change some colors if we wanted to. Like the background color of this pink thing, I think we could probably change. Let's see. Oh, we got to change the whole color scheme. Let's see. What is something like that? I kind of like that. That's a nice color scheme. Bunch of color schemes to choose from. And I'll probably change the font as well. Oh, I kind of like that dark blue. I kind of like how that pops. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so this text, I'm going to change I might change this font. I don't think I want a shadow on it. And I want something that's got kind of more of a heavy look to it. I'm kind of an old school marketer. I kind of like that heavy font. Obviously, it's not for everyone. Okay, I like that. And then for my name, same thing. You generally don't want to use more than 2 fonts anyway on a cover. Although I think I like maybe a little lighter font for my name now that I see it. Something nice and fancy like that. That's good. Okay, and obviously you can work with that more, you can tweak it, whatever. There's also other options. You can create your own cover and then upload it on your own if you want to. But in a pinch, that's a pretty quick way to make a cover. So let's go ahead and save that. And we'll click the preview button. I think you're actually required to click the preview button. And I'm going to click Save and Submit. All right, so we got that. So it's processing our files. Once it's done processing, we'll be able to view the preview, and then we'll be able to submit it. So right now they're still converting the file. That could take a few minutes. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm going to keep the clock running here. We don't need an ISBN number for in a digital ebook. When it comes to the printed version, we will assign an ISBN number, and you'll see that here in a few minutes. Hopefully it'll only be a few minutes before we get to that step and upload the printed version as well. So converting. There it goes. Now it's running a quality check. It says this could take up to a minute. And it does say missing. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is add in the page numbers on the table of contents. So see, their AI caught this. It says it's missing a table of contents. We're not actually missing it, but we forgot to add in the page numbers. So I need to go back and do that. See, it just says page number, whatever. So I need to go back and take note of these. So chapter 1 is actually page 1. Chapter 2 is going to be page 4. And an easy way to do this is just to grab a piece of paper and a pen and just kind of jot down. Chapter 3 starts on page 6. Chapter 4 starts on page 9. Chapter 5 starts on page 12. Chapter 6 starts on page 15. Chapter 7 starts on page 18. Chapter 8 starts on page 20. Okay. So kind of a short book, but also, again, we've got very small font on this. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised this was their default size, but I'm just going to stick with it for now. This could easily be 3 times as long with just a little formatting. Okay. So jumping back to that contents page, I just need to put in the page numbers. Okay, so we got page 1. Oops. That's kind of weird. Okay, page number 4, page number 6, page number 9, page number 12, page number 15, page number 18, and page number 20. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and re-export this, download Microsoft Word, and I'm going to download the PDF. Okay, back over to Amazon. I'm going to re-upload this manuscript, and again I'm going to upload the Word document for the ebook. So see, they're also very smart. They catch mistakes, and in fact they check spelling too. If you have spelling errors in your manuscript, they will give you a warning. So yeah, very smart AI here. So uploaded successfully. Now it's processing the file. So let's just wait another minute and then we can launch the previewer. Okay, now it's running the quality check. It says this could take up to a minute. So again, this is a very fast process. It really doesn't take much time at all. Just a matter of minutes to get things uploaded. And so, you know, here we are 45 minutes in or whatever into this process, but that includes actually creating a book from scratch. So then we go ahead and launch the previewer. If you already have your book, this is only going to take like 5 minutes. And look, this cover looks even better on this device than it did when I on the creation tool. And they've got 3 different previews available. They got tablet, phone, and Kindle e-reader. And you can view it either vertically or horizontally, but it's most important to preview it vertically because I think almost everyone using e-readers is going to use it vertical. So let's go ahead and, you know, flip through some of these pages. Title page looks good. Disclaimer page looks good. Contents looks good. And then we get into the content. And here's the cool thing about e-readers is you can change the font size. So the reader, the person who buys this book can change it. So if they want the font big, see all of a sudden it's big. So it looks good there. We can look at it on a phone. Looks good on a phone. We can look at it on a Kindle e-reader. And that looks good as well. So they might go as small as font size 1. They might go as big as font size 7. But all of that looks really good. So that's good to go. You can see they didn't find any spelling issues, no image issues. Now, if they did, what you would do is just basically go fix those and then re-upload your manuscript again. That's all you have to do. Fix it, re-upload your manuscript. So we're good to go. So go ahead and just finish previewing it. And once we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and click back. And I'm going to save and continue. From here, depending on where you live and stuff like that, they might give you an option to enroll in KDP Select. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You probably want to just select all territories. You might as well sell it everywhere. And then again, depending on where you live and what options you have, you'll see what your royalty options are. I'm going to select the 70% royalty option. And then you can set your price. You can see anywhere from $2.99 to $9.99. This is just obviously just a short little book that I created very quickly, so I'll set it at kind of the lower end of the price point. And then it fills in automatically for all these different countries and their native currencies. And then click the yellow button to publish your Kindle ebook. And done. Okay, so it says it can take up to 72 hours for your title to be available for purchase on Amazon. We'll see. It probably won't take that long. My experience is it's been usually an hour or less. And then you'll see a button that says start your paperback now. So I'm going to go ahead and start my paperback of the same title, which the The title's already filled in. The author is already filled in. The description's already filled in. The publishing rights and the audience are already filled in. We do need to re-choose our categories because they do differ slightly between ebook and printed book, but they're pretty similar. So again, I'm going to look for parenting relationships, parenting and teenagers, and then I'm going to go with another category. We'll go with parenting once again. Subcategory, we'll go with, let's see, we could say family relationships on one of these. Family relationships, conflict resolution. That's a good one for teens. That'd be good. And then maybe one more category. And for this one, maybe we will try to find something different. Self-help, maybe. Category relationships. They don't really have parenting in here, but they do have interpersonal relations or general. Conflict management. Here we go. All right. So I think that's good for teen. I'm just taking that angle with this. Obviously, you need to do what's best for your title, what's going to be best for your marketing. Go ahead and save those categories. We already have the keywords. We'll keep those. Save and continue. And I'm going to assign a free KDP ISBN. So click the yellow button, assign ISBN number. This allows your book to be sold, essentially. And we could go back and put that in the book itself, but what Amazon will do is they'll actually put it in a barcode on the back cover, so it'll be on the book no matter what. Publication date, I'll just go ahead and leave it default. My print options, I'm going to go with, we can either go cream paper or white paper. We definitely want black and white. We don't have any color pictures in this book. For cream, I usually go for like a fiction book would be cream. Nonfiction, I would go white, although it doesn't have to be that, but I'm going to go with white paper. 6x9, that's what the template we used. No bleed, okay, because we don't have pictures that go all the way to the edges. We can go either matte or glossy on the cover finish. Doesn't really matter. And then we're going to upload the manuscript. And this time, I'm going to select the PDF. Whereas we selected the Word doc for the ebook, I'm going to select the PDF for the printed book. Now, the downside here, actually, I may end up having to go back and add more pages because I think there is a minimum page limit for printed books in this size, right? So for a children's book, we could probably go lower. I'm not sure on this one. We're going to find out if we are below their page limit on this. And if it is, I would just need to go back, take up some more space, increase my font, increase my paragraph spacing. We could easily double or triple the number of pages in this book. But if it allows it, the nice thing about this is that it's going to be super cheap. It's going to be so cheap to manufacture because it doesn't have many pages. It's going to be more like a booklet rather than a book. So there's advantages of either of those, either way of looking at it, right? Having more pages or fewer pages. I'm going to go ahead and launch the cover creator again and just try to sort of recreate the same cover, but this time it's going to be for a printed book. So it's going to have a back cover as well. So again, looking at people, teenagers, and I'm just going to select that same image since I know it's a good one. Use this image. And you can kind of scroll through and see which one seems to fit the best. Let's see, this one here is the most similar to the one that I already had. Although her head gets slightly chopped on this. I'm not sure how easy it is to reformat that. That could be an issue. Maybe I don't want to have to worry about having to reformat the image. Whereas this one does have, I like the way it frames the subject on the front cover. Not crazy about having the words be sideways though. It's a tough call on that. So I think I'm going to go with this one after all. It's similar to the other one. Okay, so yeah, it has to be at least 79 pages to fit oh, so they can still print it. It's just not going to have any spine text. So that's good. So we should be able to print this really cheaply. We'll find out. And again, if we wanted to make this a longer book, it's as simple as doing a few things, but primarily making the text bigger and more spaced out. I mean, easily we could double this. Easily, we go into this. We could do a Control A to select all. I'd go to Format. I could go to Paragraph spacing. Instead of single, I could select double. And all of a sudden, we just doubled the number of pages. We're already at 48 pages. Now we could increase this from a size 11 font to say like a size 14. That's going to bring us up to like 70 pages. So very easily could bump it up to where it would actually be thick enough to have spine text. Okay. So color schemes. I like that dark blue that I've found. There it is. Oh, where'd it go? No, that's not it. Where'd you go? Maybe they don't have the same color schemes for each template. Maybe each template sort of has its own set of color schemes. I like this red. I think that's gonna, especially since I'm sort of targeting the conflict management niche on this particular title. So let's go ahead and format this. I'm gonna go ahead and center it. I'm gonna change the font again. And get rid of the shadow, or the shadow, whatever you want to call it. And then my name, kind of the same thing on that. A little bit of a lighter font on that though. Get rid of the shadow. And then my back cover text. Boy, I should have copied and pasted that somewhere, because I used that back cover. I used that text in the description. Let me see if I open up. Let me see if I can go grab that real quick. kdp.amazon.com. Bookshelf. The ebook's still in review. Let me see if I click continue setup though. Can I go take a look at it? Yeah, I think it's kind of locked up while it's in review. I just wanted to go grab that description so I didn't have to create the description again, but I'll just go recreate the description. So product description. Actually, you know what? I think we've got back cover text creator. Let's see. Ebook report. Maybe not on this. I know I have text creator, or a back cover text creator, on the children's book tool. I'll use this product description writer again. So the name of the product, the teenage mind, and the audience. Oh, I don't need the audience, just need the product type. It's a book. I'm going to put the description in there and just see if it works, see if it helps. May or may not. As you can see, I'm doing this entire process without really having to write anything. Okay, copy that, jump back over here to my back cover text, paste that. I'm just going to change the word ebook into book. And then this, I'm going to leave blank. That I'm going to leave blank. The back cover image. Is that? Yeah, I think that'd be the back cover image. If I just select some earth tone paper, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, see, it kind of matches that red. That's nice. Okay. I think that's going to be okay for now. Oh, I can drag this down to make sure it's not hiding your face. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, save that. Preview. And yeah, this is going to be a nice cover, I think. We're about to find out. Building your cover. This may take a minute. Okay? Just going to keep this going in real time. Been working on this about an hour so far. Okay, save and submit. Okay, so we got that. Last but not least is we're going to launch the previewer and see how it looks in the previewer. Well, that's not the very last thing. We also have to set the prices, but almost the last thing. As you can see, it's preparing the files. It's generating a print-ready file. As it says, this requires a number of steps and can take several minutes. Checking your cover for quality issues. See how cool this is? Like, it does a bunch of work for you. It like does, checks for errors and all that stuff to make sure everything's going to look good. This is the power of technology right in front of our very eyes. Now it's checking the manuscript for quality issues. And, this one, I would guess it might be a little more stringent when it checks a print-ready manuscript compared to the ebook. When it comes to printing, it's got to really meet some requirements, I would think. Okay, here's my preview. So as you can see, they added my ISBN with a barcode on the back cover. So perfect. Then I open the book. You got my title page, got my disclaimer, got my table of contents, and then the book itself. And yeah, I really feel like this font is pretty small. I really feel like we could definitely bump that up significantly and make this more pages if we wanted to. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this and approve it and keep it a very short book, more like a booklet. I think that actually appeals to a lot of parents too. Like, buying a 200-page book may be intimidating to a lot of parents, where they see a 30-page book and they're like, oh, I can handle that. I can learn about how to have a better relationship with my teen in only 30 pages. And look at the cost. It's only $2.15 to print this book. It's phenomenal. Let's go ahead and save that and continue. We'll sell it everywhere. We'll sell it on Amazon. I'll go ahead and include my expanded distribution. If you have that option, you can do that. And they're going to give you a price range that you're allowed to sell it for. So the minimum they're allowing me to sell this one for is $5.38, or soon $5.75. So I'll just go with $5.99. Okay, so for a desperate parent, they're easily going to drop $5.99 on this book. And I get to make a good royalty on that, because again, it only costs $2.15 to print this book. Looks like I need to bump it up just a little more for Amazon in the UK. So for Great British Pounds, I'll go $4.99 as well. Perfect. Everything else looks good. If you want to request a proof, you can. Otherwise, you can go ahead and just publish it. Click the yellow button to publish, And this is where it will go into a review queue. It says it can take up to 72 hours. As of the time that I'm recording this video, it's only been taking about 6 to 7 hours for it to go live. But as you can see, so the ebook that we submitted moments ago is already transitioned from the review category to the publishing category. So it is literally in the process of being published as we speak. So it's already past the review. It means it's going to be live any minute now. I wouldn't be surprised if I refresh the page here a couple times and it goes live. But indeed, we just managed to kill two birds with one stone. Okay, we created one manuscript, and we used that same manuscript to publish it both as an ebook and a paperback book on Amazon KDP. And this took us just over an hour, right? Because I started the process about 10 minutes into this video. And so it took about an hour and 5 minutes to do everything, including creating the covers and including creating the book. Obviously, if you already had your book done, this would have only taken you 10 or 15 minutes. But we actually created a book from scratch. Got it on Amazon as an ebook and a paperback book in about an hour. That's pretty sweet, don't you think? I think so. I mean, that's something that just years ago would not have been possible, but thanks to AI and thanks to Amazon's super slick system, you can publish a book in an afternoon. So cool. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you've learned a lot from it, and hope you enjoy two birds with one stone. Hope you enjoy getting your books on Amazon as both an ebook and a printed book in the shortest time possible. Have fun, enjoy, and I wish you the best of success. Take care. Just a real quick update here. Sure enough, within about an hour of making that video, the Kindle edition ebook was live on Amazon. And then I woke up this morning and the paperback was live on Amazon. So literally just a matter of hours later, the paperback was live as well. Super exciting. Have fun with it.